from AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. It's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys taking on Taylor Heineke and the Washington football team.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with the Washington football team. Greg Zuerlein's got it teed up, and off we go from Arlington. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. The Washington offense ready to take over, and you see Taylor Heineke at the helm in his second season with the football team.
Let's face it, you don't see too many Old Dominion alums suiting up under center in the NFL, and in fact, Taylor Heineke, the first ODU quarterback to suit up for a regular season game, not to mention doing well in the playoffs. This guy's an absolute fighter. Fought for every chance he's had in this league. Attitude, determination, those carry over to his teammates very well.
Heineke now looking to throw on first down. And incomplete to open things up.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Heineke to throw it. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Heineke now. He's going to drop this one down to Gibson. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up the first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they'll throw again. Heineke. Open man is the tight end, John Bates. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big connection on that one. 33 yards.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan today, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Looking to throw. Heineke. Throw over the middle into the hands of the tight end Bates. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taking them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Taylor Heineke. A 4-yard touchdown scamper. And Washington takes the ball down the field and scores on their opening drive. Solid finish to a solid opening drive, and that's the threat that he represents. He can take off and score on you.
What he makes it is 11-on-11 football, because a lot of the times the quarterback isn't much of a runner, so you don't have to account for him. Well, you do with him, and now he actually gets a lead blocker instead, and he's able to cash that one in.
Extra point attempt here still to come. It's good, and Washington will take a 7-0 lead. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. On the return, Tony Pollard from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott set to go on offense for the first time. And with Dak at the controls, his 6th season under center now as the Cowboys quarterback.
You remember last year he got off to an incredible start, threw for over 450 yards in 3 straight weeks, including 502 against the Cleveland Browns in Week 4. Just 4 yards short of the franchise's single-game record. Then came his injury in Week 5 that pretty well derailed the Cowboys season.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on 1st down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. He'll get this out wide here to Elliott. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's a 2nd down. So Dak with a completion there, really showing no ill effects from that injury a season ago. Yeah, what do you think your keys are defensively trying to stop Mr. Prescott?
Well, I think any defensive coordinator will tell you, stop his running game first, because he is at his best off of play action when all of your linebackers come up to the line of scrimmage after the fake to the running back, and that allows him room and space to make it.
Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie first-rounder, Jamin Davis. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes, those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Heineke. And that'll be complete to the running back, Gibson. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
The first carry for the Memphis man, Antonio Gibson. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. They'll run with Gibson. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
Antonio Gibson is an absolute dart with the ball in his hands, and he can make you miss, and he can run over you. Took a little while to crack the starting lineup as a rookie, but boy, was he sensational when he did. Went for 115 yards and 3 scores in a Thanksgiving Day clobbering of the Dallas Cowboys. At Washington, they feel like they had a real find when they took him in the 3rd round last year, number 66 overall, and he justified their decision.
First down, Heineke. He'll dump that off to Gibson, complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Heineke. The quick slant caught. Touchdown, Washington. John Bates from 8 yards out. And Washington is able to stretch their lead. They've got to be thrilled on the road right now. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, and quickly trying to make it 14-0.
Yeah, and mentioned it already. On the road, to be able to go into someone else's house and establish a start like that, obviously your confidence rises in a big way, and you're putting some doubt in their minds.
Now the try here for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Pollard to return from the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Dak and the Cowboy offense heading back onto the field. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
Now he's able to break through one tackle, but it slowed him down enough that he could only manage getting back to the line of scrimmage.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Meanwhile, Dak's throw complete into the hands of Schultz here.
Let's just make this one simple. Could he be any more open than he was on that play?
And they lost him going to the outside.
Hard to believe because you go through your accounting on each and every defensive snap. Who's got who, what defense you're in. That was totally a blown coverage.
On third down, it's Prescott. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Jonathan Allen, the former first-round pick, getting in there to bring him down. Well, you're already up a couple of scores here in the first half defensively, and Charles, they just seem to be playing really free on that side of the football.
I love the observation because with that type of a lead, they feel like they can take a few more chances and be even more aggressive. And it's been paying off for him so far this game.
The veteran in his first year with the Cowboys, Brian Anger, on to punt. DeAndre Carter back deep. Taking it about the 36. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. And here comes a big tight end as he gets set for this next drive. And we peek at some of his work from this game where he's nearing 100 yards.
And haven't we gotten pretty close in this game nowadays in the NFL to almost taking labels off of the tight end position? These guys now can be the #1 option in an offense, and that never used to be the case. So now how do you even match up with them? Cornerback, safety, linebacker, all three will have deficiencies against the best tight ends in the game.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Micah Parsons, the linebacker, in on the tackle.
Nice run defense presented there, and what I mean by that is discipline. Guys filling the right gaps in the right holes, no one over-pursuing, and making a very nice play.
On 2nd and 9, Heineke. That's into the hands of his tight end Bates. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a 1st down.
A 1st down throw for Heineke. That one caught. It's the rookie De'Ami Brown. And he's taken down inside the 30.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Off the play fake, Heineke. He'll find Gibson here, complete. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Throwing, Heineke. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a 1st down. A pretty sizable deficit here in the 1st quarter. This defense probably need to get off the field in those situations on 3rd down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last 3rd down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field. Let's reverse the momentum. Instead, they got hit with another 1st down, almost back to the drawing board.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
From the 7, it's 2nd and 5. To the air again, Heineke. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
This defense porous so far in this 1st quarter. They face another 1st and goal. Gibson is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Now the try here for the point after. And it is now 21-0. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the 1st as they kick this one away. This one will come out to the 25 as Pollard is going to elect not to return it. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Prescott off play action. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
Third and short yardage. Prescott got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And he will have a Cowboys first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
A first down throw for Prescott. Over the middle, complete. That's Schultz. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Here's Prescott. Quick hitter here. It's complete. A gain of 6 there on first.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. To throw again on 2nd down. Prescott. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
An extra man in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. They'll throw again. Prescott. He's got his man. It's Gallup. And finally out of bounds all the way down at about the 2. A big play here for Dallas.
And this offense needed something to try and seize the momentum a little bit. That might have been exactly what they needed. Now they have a chance to go downfield and score and cut into the lead.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. To throw is Prescott. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me an option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Throwing, Prescott. That ball is caught. It's Gallup. Touchdown, Cowboys. 2 yards on the touchdown there. And the Cowboys cut into that lead.
Well, since we don't have a rooting interest in this one, neither one of us wanted to see this one get out of hand too early. Here we are in the 1st quarter. That was an important response for them to score already down 21.
Zerline on for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and that'll cut the lead to 21-7. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
First and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. To throw is Heineke. He finds his man, complete. That's Reyes.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
4 yards remain for second down. Working out of the gun. Here's Heineke. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A handoff for Gibson. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Now, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And now it's a bootleg with Heineke. A throw left side caught here by the tight end Bates. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. From the gun, Heineke. And this is going to be incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away. CeeDee Lamb deep for the Cowboys. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Off the play fake, Prescott. is caught by Lamb. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
These guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They were starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10, down at the 33. A first down carry by Elliott. Working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Prescott to throw it. And that's Elliott, complete. Touchdown, Cowboys! Ezekiel Elliott, 26 yards. And the Cowboys have cut it to within a score. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
Zerline good with a PAT. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. So that drive, 4 plays. And it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And Carter deciding not to bring this one out. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He's thrown for a touchdown pass, and he's run for one so far.
When you're able to watch a guy perform at a high level and do it in multiple ways, arm, legs, he really helps his team in a big way. You've got to think that they feel great about where they are in this ball game, and they feel even better about him leading their team.
Now he's hoping to put them into a better spot after this drive. Heineke on first down. This will be caught. It's Samuel. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Now Heineke. And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's second down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. 2nd and 10. Here's Heineke. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie from Penn State, Micah Parsons. And the Cowboys are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. This will be incomplete. Oh, a dream chance for a D lineman, but he couldn't pull that one in.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Looking to throw, Prescott. He finds his target, it's Schultz. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
They'll run on 1st down. Elliott. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. A handoff left, Elliott. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he will have a Cowboys 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
First down, Prescott. He finds his man, complete. That's Schultz. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Throwing again on 2nd down. Prescott.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Here's Prescott. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Schultz. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
From the 4, it's second and a couple. Prescott from the gun. That is caught. It's Cooper for the Cowboy touchdown. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying the football game. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes, because that's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. Zerline now for the PAT. He's got it, and we're all tied at 21. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told, and it's capped off for the Cowboys touchdown. Couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. No return here for Carter, and this will be a touchback. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now, so you're not protecting a lead, so you're not playing that way. You've got to go get the lead again, so maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Here's Gibson to start the drive. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Heineke to throw it. He's going to drop this one down to Gibson. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Washington on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now we've got whistles here before the snap, and I believe this is going to be on Washington. That was a 3rd and somewhat manageable, now not so manageable.
Exactly, because you had a play call on that you felt like, hey, this can go quick, and it doesn't take much to get it done. Now, you got to start thinking about a little bit of a deeper route type of a call, especially if you want to throw it.
Now after the false start, they need 8 yards here on 3rd down. Heineke now. That's out to the flat for Gibson. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down, they just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
Here's Tressway now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Dallas offense back out onto the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. Now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. The give is to Elliott. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Now Prescott. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. On the return, Carter. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
On 1st and 10, Heineke.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
On that play, as you saw the route start to develop downfield, I got the sense that maybe the run would set up for him, and he took full advantage of it and got a big gain on a busted play.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 46.
On the draw, it's Gibson.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Looking to throw, Heineke. Got a man, it's Gibson, complete.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that's definitely on their heels now because they gave up the running play for good yardage 1 play ago. Now the pass here sets this offense up 1st and goal. They're going to have to dig in strong now because they've been in retreat so far in this drive. This offense on the march.
So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time.
Heineke throw right side, taken in by Gibson.
Touchdown!
Antonio Gibson.
He scored on the ground and through the air.
And Washington has taken the lead.
CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. Point after, right down the middle. And they will take a 7-point lead. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards.
And it was polished off by a Washington touchdown.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
This is Tony Pollard. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Zeke and the Cowboys ready to begin their next drive. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here?
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Now Prescott. Over the middle, complete. That's Schultz. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes. Now, how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. A give to Elliott. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Out of the gun, here's Prescott, and his pass incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
The Cowboys on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Prescott. And that is incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Dallas. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it.
A time again to see Terry McLaurin in the Washington offense.
Second quarter here, he has only 1 catch, but they have the lead. You got to think, though, he's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will open up a little bit more as the game goes on.
Yeah, well, so far, just the single catch.
Heineke now looking to throw on first down. Throw over the middle into the hands of the tight end Bates.
He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4. Shotgun handoff to Gibson.
And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there.
From the shotgun, it's Heineke.
And that will be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away.
Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining.
A reminder coming up here at halftime. We'll ship you off to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman will have first-half highlights and analysis from a back-and-forth first half that we've seen. Oh, Prescott stripped.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Prescott urging his guys to go quickly. They need to get up and set. A 2nd down throw for Prescott. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts
as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Ooh, the juke. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. Time again to see Terry McLaurin in the Washington offense. He hasn't had his usual star-studded performance so far, but still the second quarter, and they're still up on the scoreboard.
And sometimes even as a decoy, you can have a big impact on the game, and that's what we've seen thus far. They're still able to get it done. They found other ways. They haven't had to utilize him as a top priority just yet, but you know he's waiting and available.
Yeah, now the question is, how will they utilize him here?
A good starting spot for Washington as they come up 1st and 10
at their own 42.
Now Heineke.
This is caught. It's Brown. And he's brought down. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
First down, Heineke.
And he'll complete this one to Patterson. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So they still get the completion even though the blitz was on. But the blitz got there. Does that stay in the mind of the quarterback the next couple plays?
That's what you're hoping for. That's what you're planning for. It's a little risk reward, right? You're leaving your guys on an island back there in man coverage. But you take the chance that you get to the quarterback, and so he gets completion here. Congratulations. Keep coming at him, and hopefully it pays off by the end of the game that you're starting to get to him while still able to cover on the back end.
So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21.
The white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. Back and forth, we win in that first half. This has certainly been an entertaining one to watch thus far. So let's get right back out to it as we'll rejoin our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It's It's the Cowboys who get the football first, and they trail here as well as we resume action in the third quarter. Pollard to return from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And Charles, they trail here, though not really the fault of this offense.
No, they certainly did their part in the first half, but when you're in a shootout like this, you definitely want your defense to play better, but you know that's out of your control. All you can do, keep putting points on the scoreboard and keep giving your defense opportunities to make stops.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23.
He'll set up to throw from the gun.
He's going to find Gallup here complete. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a 1st down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Prescott now. He finds his man complete. That's Schultz. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Second down, here's an option right. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Prescott.
Open man Lamb. It's complete. And he will have a Cowboys 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Tenth carry now for Elliott. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. To throw is Prescott. Throw right side, taken in by Gallup. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
On 1st down, it's Elliott, and they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. The tackle by Cole Holcomb.
And that's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Prescott going to do it himself. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Throwing, Prescott. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw here. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
So now Dak Prescott off, Greg Zuerlein on for the field goal. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. Zuerlein's kick is up and through. And this is back down to a 7-point game. So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
After the made field goal, Zuerlein back out there now to send this one away. And Carter deciding not to bring this one out. First possession of the second half now for Washington. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yep,
run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
They'll start on the ground with Gibson. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 46 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. And here's a give to Gibson. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. And, oh, boy, as you can see, Terry McLaurin yet to hop back on his feet after that play. We'll check on his status when we get back. Second and 6. No, scratch that. Second and 7. And they'll try to throw now. Heineke had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake. Third down.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it. An in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Throwing. Heineke. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gassed,
right?
Yeah,
a little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. That is caught by Lamb. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Coming up on 2nd and 7. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. He finds his man, complete. That's Schultz. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 45-yard line. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Prescott to throw it. And his throw is incomplete.
They've given up a few 1st downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll set up to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Schultz. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up.
So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down.
So that was all you're looking for on a play like that. Get the first down and keep the drive moving.
Yeah, it just looked to me like he just said to himself, I've got this. I'll take it. I'll pick it up, and let's keep moving. Get the first down, get a new set, and let's start over.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Back to throw. He finds his man complete. It's Schultz. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Now back to the ground with Elliott. And they'll get to him just inside the 15. Even after the strong run we just saw, they're able to corral him quickly defensively.
50 yards rushing for him now to this point.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Again, it's Elliott. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
They'll look to throw. And they get him down at the 1. He had the broken tackle, but ultimately could not get into the end zone. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal?
Elliott will take this into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Now Zerline on to add the extra point. And that will tie our game here in the 3rd quarter. So that drive, 12 plays in length, and it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. No return here for Carter, and this will be a touchback. So out comes Washington's offense to take over. And their lead has evaporated in this third quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10. They'll run. It's Gibson. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
On 2nd and 7, Heineke. Open man is Samuel, complete. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Heineke. Quick slant to Brown. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Play action now. Here's Heineke. That's into the hands of his tight end, Bates. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 28.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
A 1st down throw for Heineke. Got a man. It's Brown. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Heineke. Flush to his right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah.
And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown. John Bates, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And Washington has taken the lead.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run, and he finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
Point after try forthcoming. And they will take a 7-point lead now. So that drive in total 8 plays. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Now Pollard. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Let's go, team. Big series right here, so we got to step it up. 5:52, 26.
Looking to throw. Prescott. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
In the early days of the NFL, you could easily blame these drops on maybe some uneven or uncertain lighting in a stadium. Not anymore. The lights are pretty good.
Yeah, they're great here at night, but his 2nd drop, indeed, not a good look. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This will be 3rd and 5. Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Here's Prescott. He'll go underneath here to Elliott. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. Prescott from the gun. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Off the edge, the sack by Matt Ioannidis.
He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage. Well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This will be 3rd and 6. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Desperation time. Prescott on 4th. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Mike McCarthy took the gamble, didn't pay off. And Washington will have it on the turnover on downs. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
To throw is Heineke. He'll dump that off to Gibson, complete.
That catch good for only a couple.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
From the 41, Heineke.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted.
Picked up by Trayvon Diggs.
A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field.
The interception sets them up with an opportunity to erase this 4th quarter deficit. Now, this series could very well determine our outcome.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Dak dropping this one off for Zeke. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here.
They certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Prescott. That one complete to Elliott. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll make it 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
From the 28, it's 2nd and 5.
Prescott yet again.
Left side to Lamb.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. Prescott. And that is incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Cowboys here unable to convert on 4th down.
And Washington will have it on the turnover on downs.
So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson.
And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
On 2nd down, here's Gibson again.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
82 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Heineke's throw taken in by Samuel. 7 yards, the pickup there.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Working with a 2nd and 3. On the counter, Gibson.
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy 1st down conversion.
They go play action. Now Heineke.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by DeMonte Casey. And he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Out comes Michael Gallup and company as they take the field. So glancing at these numbers, I think they tell a story of, hey, early on, he got hot, he got their attention. They've been able to hone in on him, shut him down a bit.
He certainly did get their attention, and that's the ultimate compliment for a player, that when you come out in the second half, all of a sudden there's extra guys around you, there are different coverages rolled your way. That means you've done something really well. Now it's up to him to make his own adjustment and find a way to beat the new defenses he's facing.
Prescott on 1st down.
They'll get this out wide here to Elliott.
They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
To throw again on 2nd down. Prescott. And it's incomplete. Well, those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game, that time unable to find the completion.
Yeah, it just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try and get him the football. As you mentioned, unable to connect.
third down. They'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Now Prescott. Over the middle, complete. That's Schultz. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Now a throw here to his running back. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. To the air again, Prescott. And that's Elliott, complete. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Now the screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
Boy, that was certainly well read defensively, and the key to any screenplay is space to work, and there was none to be found there, and they tackle it for just a short gain.
And the move from Mike McCarthy is going to be to keep the offense on the field here on 4th down. They're going for it. They'll run it with Elliott. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. I love those plays. 4th and 1. That's who wants it more. This time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense getting it done.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. This is Elliott. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
2nd down and 8.
Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Zerline now for the PAT. And no sweat. He puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th. That time, a 9-play drive, and it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. Set set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. DeAndre Carter returning it. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Another drive coming up for this Washington offense. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this fourth quarter to try to grab that lead back. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Heineke. A throw left side caught here by the tight end Bates. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. Well, we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the fourth quarter.
And, Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Major used to say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
On the option, here's Elliott. Oh, he sheds himself free. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. And even 100 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. That's Gallup on the slant. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Prescott, throw left side complete. That's Schultz.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Here's Elliott. Shrugs him off. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads. Bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They face a second down, but they are in field goal range. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Cowboys have broken the tie.
Just power football there. Down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead now. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away.
And Carter deciding not to bring this one out.
The Dallas defense, here they come now onto the field. And they're just trying to keep him out of the end zone. Obviously, a field goal does no good in this situation. So what's the appropriate amount of pressure defensively, Charles?
I think you send a little more pressure than what is normal. If you normally want to send a 3-man rush, maybe you make it 4. If it's 4, maybe you make it 5. Anything to make sure that he can't just sit back there all day and find a target. And then you tell your secondary, play your normal coverage and maybe an extra step or 2 back.
Yeah, be careful that nothing goes over the top. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
He's got McLaurin.
And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. He'll look to throw.
Gets this to Gibson.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Obviously a big first down right there.
Yeah, they still got to hustle. They got to get up to the line of scrimmage and get set. But I don't think necessarily you need to spike it. But they've got to continue to move quickly.
First down now, but the clock continues to move. He's back to throw.
And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
Ooh, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll look to throw. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 34-yard line.
And this is obviously a spot where you lean on your stars. Get the ball to them in open space and let them do what they do.
Clock rolling here, about to hit 30 seconds. Back to throw.
And yet again, it's McLaurin.
And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts,
as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal.
And they'll throw again. Heineke.
And this ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime.
Yes, sir, that touchdown puts them in striking distance. And let me tell you something, forget being conservative here. Go for it. Go for 2.
Well, going for it on the road. Want to win it right now.
Want to win it right now. Have the momentum. Go ahead and get it done.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now the extra point try forthcoming. And we may very well be headed to overtime. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays.
And the touchdown and PAT mean we are tied here in the final minute of play.
Set to go now with the kickoff. These 2 teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Prescott finding Schultz,
and he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Final whistle blows, and we need some extra time here to decide who will be the victor.
60 minutes, just not enough some days to decide who's going to win the game.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And no return here to begin the overtime session. That'll be a touchback. Dallas offense set for this next drive. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. Meanwhile, Prescott's throw pulled in by Lamb. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Well, he flew past 200, 300, 400 yards. Now he's over 450 yards passing on the day.
So what you're saying is oxygen for everyone catching the ball and trying to defend?
Yeah, especially those guys trying to defend right now.
No doubt. They've got to be a confused group because they haven't been able to defend him very well at all. And I think he just wants to keep firing. When you have that kind of a day, you're just locked in. Just keep calling those pass plays.
7 yards, the pickup there.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
3 yards remain for second down. To throw is Prescott. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. A good start for him under center here in overtime. Now 3 of 3.
And this is where you have to know who you have playing quarterback. You've got a confident thrower right now, someone who's taking care of the ball, but not being timid as well, and is moving the team downfield. That opens up your playbook and allows you to dial up some big shots if you want them.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Now Elliott. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's another 10 yards on that one and another 1st down. They go back to that well. He's had a great game. Defensively, they haven't been able to stop him. Same thing here in overtime.
And sometimes that goes to the play caller's ego, because a lot of times you have so many different plays you want to call, but when you spot a matchup that's working for you or a player that has the hot hand, keep giving it to him. That tells me you're mature as a play caller, and it's working for them in overtime.
Prescott's throw taken in by Cooper here. And they'll get this down to the 10. Defensively now, the ultimate challenge. Of course, the ball gets in the end zone. This thing's over.
And I remember my coaches always talked about in goal line situations, and now you're in overtime where they have to keep them to 3 points. Otherwise, this thing is done. Win your individual battle within the framework of the team defense. Beat that guy across from you and make a play. I expect them to attack on defense and not sit back.
Prescott looks to throw on 1st. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Schultz. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards. He's padding his already great numbers here in overtime. More importantly, though, moving his guys downfield.
And I think that's exactly what's going through his head right now. Moving them downfield, putting them in a position to win the game. The stats, that's for the fantasy guys. I know they're enjoying that show.
On 2nd down now. It's Elliott, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. We needed extra time to decide this one. The rushing score and OT finishes it off, but all throughout, really just a great game to witness.
I agree, and the whole time we were watching and working on this game, I had it in the back of my head. We could get to overtime. Just the way this game went, the ebb and flow of it all, and then to get there and finish it what I would call an old school way, a running play, because in today's NFL, we throw the ball to ring the bell, don't we?
Not there. They ran it in. And again, just a great game that we bore witness to. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Cowboys as we sign off and say so long from Arlington.